ghosts and goblins out there. I am Andrew.
Ang panggalan ko ay Ashton.
I'm Sean.
And we are the Night Scholars, exploring the mystifying world of cryptids, ghosts, ghouls, and all things supernatural. Today, we will be talking about the legendary bird of Maranao, the Sarimanok.
Alright, good to see you guys again. How long's it been? I think we last discussed, the leprechauns?
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
something like
I
that.
got kind of busy at the end of March, so sorry about that.
Sorry to all our viewers, life happens. But anyways, Ashton. This bird was not easy to research. So this was quite a challenge finding anything out on it. But what little I did find out was a lot of fun. Why'd you choose it?
Why did I choose it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will go into it eventually, but this seemed to be one of the less terrifying cryptids that come out of the Philippines, and I am Filipino and am visiting the Philippines in August, and I really just kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about cryptids from the area. And I thought, hey, a colorful bird, this should have plenty of information on it. And boy, was I kind of wrong about it.
One thing I know for sure is I really like the depictions of it in artwork. It is a very pretty bird. So it's a very cool looking chicken.
Yes, it is the ubiquitous symbol of Philippine art.
What little I was able to find out about it talked more about its inspiration for the arts than the actual bird. So yeah, but yes, I agree. This thing is probably the most gorgeous cryptid we've covered so far.
Indeed. I was actually very confused when I was doing research on this. I'm pretty sure this is a cryptid, but am I wrong and I'm just being played and this is a rooster?
I mean, the squonk is just a pig, so maybe?
Don't you insult the squonk like that.
Yeah, don't you insult Andrew like that.
You're right, I shouldn't insult my co-host.
No. But the squonk is our best friend.
Long live the squonk.
I agree, but anyway, let's get more into the Sarimanok.
So it does look a lot like a rooster. So it's depicted as a fowl with colorful wings and a feathered tail. It has a beak that looks like gold and it shimmers in the sunlight. And it also is depicted holding a fish in either its beak or its talons. And I have seen artwork that has it holding it in both.
I have
Now,
too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just say, it really looks like it is kind of surfing on one fish while having the other one in its beak.
if you could surf on a fish, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. If I could
I
surf,
wouldn't, because animal cruelty. How dare you guys?
Listen, I can't surf at all, so if I could not only surf, but surf on a fish?
I mean, it's kind of like the legend of Jolly Monsignor, right? Where he grabbed onto one of the dolphins and they took him to safety.
Yep.
I thought that was Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, that was sea turtles.
Oh, I always get them mixed up.
Sea turtles, dolphins, not much of a difference there.
I mean, they're both aquatic animals, so.
Yeah, I just meant Captain Jack Sparrow and the other guy.
Oh yeah, Jolly Monsignor. He was a great guy. There's a whole song about him actually.
You gonna sing
there
it for
are
us?
a lot of songs about the Sarimanok also.
Really? Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, it's I mean, even with what we found, it's a pretty interesting creature. Would you call it a spirit?
I mean, it's kind of more of, I think I would classify it more as like a spirit, or at least connected with the spirit world.
Yeah, because I know it's a symbol of good fortune.
Well, yes, that was the one thing everybody said, was that this bird was very good luck for you.
I mean, look at it. It has to be.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
and I thought it was interesting because, like, I found a bunch of different, like, origin stories on it, but I didn't really see anything that necessarily pointed to its connection with good luck. Did either of you find a origin story that kind of ties the two things together?
The only origin story I was able to find was about two brothers.
Really, I found the one I have is the one about the legend of the daughter of the Sultan of Lanao.
Ah, I didn't find that one.
Lanao.
Okay, so let's pretend that we're at camp and let's go around and tell our different stories. Sean, you go first.
All right, I didn't write this one down, so I apologize to all of our viewers for this one. But what I did remember about it is there was two brothers. There was one connected to the world of the seen and one connected to the world of the unseen, and they combined and and it, they combined the creatures from their world to create this as to protect the world from malevolence. As I wish I could remember their names or find them again, but it was a very quick little story.
Yeah, so the story that I found, I don't see the names mentioned. I see the father's name mentioned, which was Raha Indaraptra, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's yeah, that sounds right.
And he's in a couple of different stories on it. Andrew, what was your story? Andrew, what was your story?
So the one I have is about the daughter of the Sultan of Lanao or Lanao, Lanao,
Yeah, Linnell.
Lanao, named Sari. And Sari was loved by her father and the people because of her beauty and kindness. On her 18th birthday, a feast was set to celebrate the occasion. A chicken, Maranao, was bright with bright, glowing feathers flew into the middle of the feast, shocking all the people there, and to everyone's amazement, the chicken transformed into a handsome prince. The prince stated that he has been watching over and protecting Sari since she was born, and that it was time that he took her to be with him. With this, he transformed back into a chicken and took Sari flying away into the sun. Both he and the princess were never seen again. The loss of his daughter brought grief to the Sultan, and he had the best craftsmen in his lands to carve an image of the magical monarch that took his daughter.
Interesting. Yeah, I found a story about the Sultan and everything, and that's a different rendition that I had found.
It's more of a synopsis, I guess. It's a shorter version of it, but yeah.
Where mine was, or the one that I saw, it kind of like the two lovers ended up bringing the Sarimanok back to Mindanao, and they were the ones that tied in with the story that Sean told of the two kids who were seen and unseen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, or I guess I do have a name of one of the brothers. Inikadawa. Inikadawa.
See, what I found about Inkadawa is that it was another bird similar to the Sarimanok.
Yeah. I guess this is exactly what I wrote down was these two brothers made a pact where they would always protect each other from bad spirits. They chose the
Mhm.
Sarimanok to be their totem bird through help of its twin, Inikadawa.
Okay, I think we might have found the same source on that one because it's
Yeah,
very
I think
interesting.
so. I think my favorite story that I found was a story of a prince named Raha and Indaraptara who fell in love with the moon goddess who came to Earth every Friday to bathe in a scented well. The prince knew that they couldn't be together because the moon goddess was not from this world. He fell into deep despair. Then one day, while he was carving a rooster made of wood, he challenged it to make he challenged it to take him to the moon. The rooster with beautiful feathers came alive and took the prince to the moon to be with his beloved. The prince was never seen again.
That's
That is
And I like
kind of similar to the other story about what was his name? Uh
about
Raha?
this open one.
Raja.
Yeah.
Raja.
Raja. Yeah, it's pretty similar to that, where he joined the goddess of the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate
I
the
think it
fact
is.
that this bird is known for taking humans and sending them elsewhere to get it out of its sight. Like, I also would like to do the same thing with humans.
Uh,
This seems to have good intentions when it does it, though. It's taking it to be with where they want to be, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and that's perfectly fine. It's still, it's a nice way of getting to the same goal, which is to eliminate the Earth one by one of all of the humans.
see, I did just find another one of Muslim origins, and apparently the Maranos people. I believe that when I'm sure I got that wrong. Believe that when the Prophet Muhammad went to the seven heavens, he found the rooster in the first heaven. It was so large that its crest touches the second heaven. Legend says that the crow wakes up all living creatures except man, and it is believed that Judgment Day comes when the rooster stops crowing. So not quite as well intentioned in this one. Just that I'm going to scream forever.
Yeah, the Maranaos are known for, or are an ethnic minority group that predates like the Spaniards, and I have that too. And so it's very much, I think that that one's probably the story that I would believe the most just because it's like the older legends of it, but I just like the whole like going and living with the moon goddess.
That one's the most poetic story.
It is, it's extremely poetic. And it
Wow.
just reminds me of, you know, when Zuko talks to Sokka later and he's like, I can't remember the exact conversation, but it's just like, my girlfriend turned into the moon. That's too bad, buddy.
It's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
Zuko's just
That's
like
pretty rough.
Zuko's like, I'm not sure what to make of that sentence, so I'm just gonna say that's rough, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look, Zuko tried. He's like, what have you guys been getting into while I've just been wasting my entire life looking for the Avatar?
His girlfriend turned into the moon. How do you deal with that sentence?
I feel like, sure they did, buddy. Sure they did.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. It's pretty common.
And me.
My girlfriend broke up with you and became the moon.
This is why none of the three of us have girlfriends.
Exactly.
Oh,
They all turned into the moon. It was the same girl.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah.
it.
We were pretty shocked to find out, actually.
Yeah, it's really like the true origin story of the Night Scholars is just, you know, we go outside at nighttime and we stare up at the moon and we're trying to figure out a way to bring her back.
Is that why you scheduled the eclipse for today?
Yeah, I really wanted to see her one more time in the middle of the day.
Yep.
Because why not?
Yeah, I mean, this was 20 years ago where we lost her.
I don't think any of us are that old.
I mean,
Well, Sean might be.
wow, just calling me out of my age, huh?
Yep.
Just
Yeah,
because I walk
sounds
with
like
a cane.
50.
Just because I walk with a cane doesn't mean I'm 50. I only do that sometimes.
Sure. So another story that I found uh was about a goddess named Alancina who fell in love with a mortal man named Datu Palbari. He was a skilled musician and artist. The two fell deeply in love and decided to get married. The gods were jealous and conspired to break them apart. One day, a goddess named Magandang decided to trick Datu into thinking that Alancina was unfaithful. She disguised herself as a beautiful mortal woman and convinced him that she was unfaithful. He took the child with him, leaving Alancina alone. She was devastated, and the love that she had for him still lingered. She created a magical bird that would combine the best of their talents, and that was the Sarimanok, who became the symbol of imagination and creativity. Anyone who saw the bird would be granted with a surge of inspiration and ingenuity. Which I like that story too. I still think I think like the my girlfriend turned into the moon story more, but that one's pretty good.
All right, Sokka.
Hey, if I was Sokka, I would not like that story. I would be like, hey man, like that sucks, but it was my girl who actually got turned into it, so don't be claiming the moon as yours.
Yeah.
I think that's the first origin story we have. Actually, has something to do with good fortune.
Yeah, like a very specific one. Although I don't know if we mentioned it, but did we mention that the fish symbolizes like the food that the Maranao people offered to the spirit world?
I don't believe so, but I did see that.
Yeah. So like I
The
guess
fish, the fish in the beak. I think I didn't see anything about the fish in the talons. I don't know if there is a difference.
I don't think so. I didn't see anything. But I
Uh,
guess like when I was thinking good fortune initially, I was thinking about like strictly money, but like good fortune doesn't have to be about money.
could be could be fair weather.
It could. I have heard that so much of the Philippines is absolutely beautiful. So I
Yeah,
bet the beautifulness also goes along with good weather.
I
Yeah.
and probably another good fortune would be keeping the British away.
The Philippines has not been particularly in good favor when it comes to wars and invasions, unfortunately.
That's true.
Hashtag still salty after all these years.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Fair
Says the girl
enough.
who went to Japan before going to the Philippines.
Ooh, bad move.
It's fine. I'm going to the Philippines very soon.
Yeah.
All right, so what we've learned in this episode is that Ashton's a weeb. The Philippines have really great art, and fish is good and fortune.
They do. Our artist uh for the design on the sticker and the shirt is from the Philippines.
Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting.
Hey, we're good artists. Honestly, that design is so cute.
It is. It is. I've really, really good job. I don't know when the last time anybody said anything involving both the Jersey Devil and the Squonk not only existed but was cute.
Yeah, I think we did in episode 3. That's probably the last time we mentioned it.
Oh, the Squonk. So,
What I find kind of interesting about like how the Sarimanok is displayed is that it's never to be displayed by itself, and it
no.
must be displayed with a set of flags, standards, and vexilloids. And there are like certain things that like can vary, but that's like the majority. Like the exceptions are it can be placed on top of an umbrella of a sultan or dignitary, and is also used at the Mindanao University and graduation ceremonies. But
Okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting, like just how like important this creature is to must be like displayed in a specific way.
Yeah, seems to be a very important thing to them, which I'm glad they have it.
Yeah.
It has a good story behind it, and it's a
Several
beautiful
good
looking
stories.
creature. Yeah.
Several good stories, one could even say.
Yeah.
But I don't think we've covered a cryptid and so far who's as important to the culture, or as we have with the Sarimanok. This is quite fascinating, honestly. Uh,
Indeed. I like
uh,
learning about all of the different.
Now, I did have one question for you, Ashton. Is it specific flags that are supposed to be displayed next to it, or can it be different, or can it be any flag?
I did not see anything that clarified, but I'll be honest, I also don't know what vexilloid means.
Yeah, I didn't either, so that's why I didn't ask you about it. So so you're saying we probably can't have the flag of the Fire Nation under or the Maranao, the Sarimanok.
I don't think that that would be a good idea for reasons that I will keep primarily to myself.
It's Eclipse Day. I had to make a Fire Nation joke.
Indeed. Sean messaged me this morning and was like, I feel depleted. And I was like, that is very Fire Nation energy of you.
I don't know. I feel like Sean would be more like Sokka.
I do too.
What, completely useless but with a good heart? That's the good heart part.
Oh yeah, at least the first part, you know.
Sokka is a complete dumbass.
Later on, he becomes like a very good strategist. So
Yeah, he's a complete dumbass, but he does very smart things. As long as him and Aang aren't together. As long as you separate Sokka and Aang, they can both get things done.
Look, even if Bull is able to do something successful from time to time. All right. So I think I already know the answer to this, but Andrew, do you believe in the Sarimanok?
yeah, I like it. It's cool chicken. I'll say it exists.
What about you, Sean?
I didn't know about it until I started doing the research on it. And the more research I did, I said, this thing could probably exist, so I'm going to go with yes.
I'll say that is a fun cultural element. And then I will close this out by saying salamat. Salamat sa pakikinig to our Filipino listeners. And I will let Andrew close us out completely.
Thank you again, our ghosts and goblins, for listening to the Night Scholars. You all be good to each other. Don't answer the scratching at your window.
Or do.
But most importantly, stay safe out there.
Good night.